Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll be doing the review for the Xiaomi 55-inch 4K television, which they call it's a pro television, and this is the best television that Xiaomi has. It's a 4K panel. Panel is actually made by Samsung. They say it also has HDR. I won't make the video very fancy. I'll just get down to the points. I've been using this, testing this for the last couple of weeks. So I'll talk about the picture quality, sound, 4K. I've tested it with various 4K sources like PS4 Pro, etc. So I'll talk about that and give you a verdict. What do I feel about this one? And this is priced in India for about 50,000 rupees. So let's find out if this television is good enough or not. So guys, this is the television, and as you can see, it runs over Android. Hence, we also have voice control, Google Assistant. I'll show you all those stuffs later, but this is the interface that we have. And if you've seen any Android television, this is what it is. But as it's a Mi television, they also have their own interface, and this is what we have seen in earlier Mi television. So this is there. I personally haven't used this one a lot, but again, if you have cable television and stuff, I think so you like this interface a lot more because you have the TV guide and all that functionality if you have cable television. But I was mostly using this television in this Android TV interface, and it's a full-fledged Android television, guys. As you can see, we have support for Google Play over here, so you can install a lot of apps you have, for example TED, whatever, and it installs it pretty quickly. For example, if I just go over here and if I just press install, it'll just download it and install it, and you'll have that option, as you can see. But the thing is that storage is a little bit less. I feel 8 gigabytes out of that, roughly about 5.5 gigabytes you have. So yeah, that's the only thing that I have. So you can install a lot of apps, Kodi, Plex, as you can see. But one thing you'll notice is that you will not find apps like Amazon Prime or Netflix on this. So that is something that is actually missing on this television. So for that, I'm actually using the Amazon Fire Stick, and I'll just use the voice command to switch to HDMI input. I think so it's on HDMI 2. Switch to HDMI 2. As you can see, with voice commands you can do everything, and this is my Amazon Fire TV stick, and I've been using this for Amazon Prime and for Netflix on this television. Let me actually also switch to my PlayStation 4 Pro, because many of you were asking about 4K. Switch to HDMI 1. And this is my PlayStation, and it is, as you saw, that it came in 4K. Let me actually show you. Many of you were asking, does it support 4K? This is the PlayStation 4 Pro, guys, not the regular one. So this supports 4K. And if you go to sound and screen and video output setting, I've set it to automatic, and if you click this, as you can see, I have these two options. That means it's in 4K. But by default, when you get it this television and you put PS4 Pro, these two options will be grayed out. So don't worry, it supports, but you have to enable a few options. I'll show you. And to just show you that it is in 4K, if I go to video output, currently, as you can see, this is in 4K, and even HDR is supported. So yes, 4K and HDR works even on the PlayStation 4 Pro. But by default, you won't get that option. And to enable that, you have to go to the settings, go over here and go to device settings, and here in this HDMI 2 menu, by default it will be off. So switch it on. My PlayStation 4 Pro is on the HDMI 1, so I've switched it on. And once you do that, then you will get those 4K resolution options and all those things. So 4K native support is there. So let me just get out of this one now, and let's go back to the main interface. And for example, YouTube also works very well. It's fast, no issues with that, as you can see. And even 4K support is there. You can search for any videos, whatever you want. For example, Geeky Ranjit videos. I just Geeky Ranjit on YouTube. As you see, it'll just play back one of my latest videos like this, and you can search. Let's just go back. So complete support is there, and as it has that voice command, it has complete Google Assistant. For example, you can ask even stuff like, what's the weather like?
Right now in Hyderabad, it's 31 degrees Celsius and mostly sunny.
As you can see, that works. And I also like the fact that the interface is fast. It's not laggy or anything. So moving between the interface is fast. I haven't noticed any lagginess while I was using the same. Now to show you the picture quality, I'm just playing this video in 4K and just notice how good the picture quality is. It has a lot of detail, and even in bright areas it's actually doing a very good job. And guys, this is the native YouTube player and it pulls in 4K. Let me actually show you. As you can see, the picture quality is actually really good on this television. But again guys, it's a VA panel, so again, if you want to watch it from off axis, there'll be some color shift, but if you're viewing it directly like this, the picture quality is really good. Let me show you. Let me just go here, and as you can see, it's in 4K, and I have set it to 1440p because my net connection is acting a little bit wonky, but yeah, you can go up to 4K. Let's try that. It might buffer, but yeah, it can pull in 4K, and the picture quality, as you can see, my net connection is having some issues, so yeah, but as you can see, the picture quality is actually really good. Now let's also test the sound on this. They say that it has Dolby sound and whatever, but again guys, let's be very realistic. It's a pretty thin television, so it is actually louder than the earlier Mi 55-inch television, but bass is just okay. Not that if you're expecting home theater kind of a thing, you might be disappointed, but the sound quality is actually pretty good. Let me try to play back some royalty-free soundtracks. And this voice commands actually work very well. I'm just going to play back this one to give you an idea. So guys, as you saw, the sound quality is good. It can get really loud, and for a built-in TV, it's good actually guys, but again, bass won't be there. That's the reality. And moving to the remote, again, as you can see, it's a plastic remote. We just get a single remote like this, unlike many other TVs that are bundling two remotes. So you only have this, and I would say Xiaomi should have put a little bit more buttons on this, because as you can see, we have the plus minus volume. That's not a problem, and it works. And the good thing is the Bluetooth, it's a Bluetooth remote, so again, you can just face it anywhere and it works. You don't have to point it to the TV, so that all is good. But again, it has very limited amount of buttons, and also we don't have any mute button on this. So if I get a call or something, I have to just hit this minus for a long time to mute it. And also we don't have quick buttons for quick picture controls and all these things. You have to go in deep into the menus to change anything. So very minimalistic remote. Yes, it's great, but again, when we want to tweak it, I find the remote to be a little bit lacking. I like the voice functionality, it works, and we also have a button dedicated for this, but they should have put dedicated buttons for the mute button and also for the picture controls. So yes, the remote is fine, but I would say it could have been better. Moving to one thing to note is that if you're wall mounting this television, the ports at the back are very difficult to reach if you wall mount it. So be very careful, and if you're doing wall mounting, attach all your cables before that, because the gap is actually very less. I haven't wall mounted, but I've heard this problem from users who have using this television and have wall mounted. So that is something you got to be careful about it. So what do I feel about this television? Let's just rate it, and I'm going to rate it based on the pricing. That is around 50,000 rupees guys, and yes, many people ask me to compare it with televisions like Sony, LG. I do have high-end televisions, but they are very expensive. In those televisions, the picture quality is much better on this. The black levels are way better, and the colors also produce a little bit better. But considering the price point of this television for 50,000, the VA panel that you're getting, if you're not sitting on the sides, I would say for the price, the picture quality is good. Yes, the contrast levels and the color reproduction could have been slightly better, but I won't complain too much. And if I have to rate it, I would say for the price, the picture quality, I would rate it 8.5 out of 10. And yes, it does support native 4K, as I mentioned. Now moving to the sound, For a television, the sound quality is actually good and it is loud. Again, if we are expecting bass and stuff because it says it supports Dolby and all those things, you'll be disappointed. But if you're looking at as a television, a normal television with a speaker, I would say it's better than many of the other television. For example, even my Samsung, which is way more expensive, its built-in speakers are not as good as this one. So yeah, sound quality is good, but if you are expecting bass and stuff, then you would have to put a sound bar. Even for my Samsung, I'm using it with a sound bar. That's the reality, guys. So sound, I would rate it 7.5 out of 10. Features, I would say it's a full featured television, Android television, so you have apps and stuff. But again, some of the apps that we use in India, for example Netflix and Amazon Prime, are not there on this. So that is the hard reality, guys. So in terms of features, I would rate it 8.5 out of 10. And remote controller, I'm not a big fan of it. It's full functional remote. You also have that Google voice control and stuff, but some of the buttons like mute and others what I've mentioned are sort of missing. So I would rate it 7 out of 10. And overall, if I have to rate this television, I would rate it 8.5 out of 10. It's certainly a very good television, but again, the problem is that if you start comparing it with the Samsungs or the LGs, then you might be slightly disappointed. But again, guys, those Samsung and LGs cost at least 3 to 4 times compared to this one. So for the price, it's actually good, but again, like any other product, it's not perfect. So guys, that was my review for this Mi 55 4K television. What do you guys think about this one? And guys, if you're still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. So anyways, guys, that's it for now. This is Ranjit and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.